Back of everybody's mind, perhaps the unspoken is that in spite of our overall focus and our orientation towards investing within overall European companies, nonetheless there is a very, very strong linkage back into Tatarstan. And the obvious question, maybe unspoken, is whether or not one can really do business effectively in Russia in general and in Tatarstan in particular. In the United States, the level of skepticism is extreme. My sense is that in Europe, while not quite as extreme, the question is still raised. And what comes to people's minds is the following. Can one do business in the country with a reputation for having tremendous and pervasive corruption, bureaucratic roadblocks? Is there a quality of a workforce? Is there availability of technology? Is there a real culture that is oriented towards a profit orientation, and so forth and so on? Because if those fundamental factors don't exist, and together with what some perceive to be a political risk, is this a place you can really do business? And my own personal experience would suggest to you the following, and let me give you just a small case study. And one would say that the problems that one thinks about are probably far more pervasive as it relates to regulated industries as opposed to others. I can simply say that back in 2002, with a business plan, 2 partners, and some foreign capital, we started a telecommunications company that has attracted over time foreign capital, has grown from a piece of paper to a company that is now doing over $90 million a year in revenue. It will show a 35% EBITDA margin next year. It operates in 100 cities throughout the country. And the only problem that we're now having is that today we are sufficiently large and we are taking sufficient business from some of the larger, more established companies that we're now in a competitive battle as opposed to simply having flown under the radar screen. So what it is really to say is that changes have occurred within this economy. And when you go from Russia in general into Tatarstan, which we believe has some of the most progressive and open and honest orientation towards establishing a competitive, effective, technologically advanced environment, that the ability to succeed as we have throughout Russia is probably amplified within Tatarstan because of the incentives and the orientation that exists there. This is not to say that some of these problems don't exist, but I would say, having invested in over 8 or 9 countries, ranging from those in South America, some in Asia, and in Europe, every single country is going to pose problems of one sort or another. The question is making sure that one has, within the team of people who are promoting the investments, a firm understanding of the culture, an understanding of the issues, and an ability really to work with the companies that are being started, developed, and are growing, and help to clear away the problems that exist, and they exist everywhere. Our belief is that with the knowledge that the Vermouth Group has, having worked within Russia for many, many years, with the support of the Tatarstan government and with the policies and procedures which are already in place, that the economic environment is such and the availability of skilled labor, workforce, so forth is there, that really will permit us not only to find investments that exist within Europe that are relevant to Tatarstan, but that Tatarstan itself will provide a very conducive environment to the growth of the industries, as has already been exemplified by the chart which one saw from the initial presentation. The reason those companies are located there is because of that environment, and our ability not only to go in and establish effective operations there, it will exist, but the infrastructure that exists in that country, as well as the companies that are already there, provide a very, very effective ecosystem, which will simply allow for an accelerated development of other industries and businesses that exist there. So I can simply say, in speaking from experience, this is not an overwhelming problem. It is an opportunity that can be effectively addressed if the right people with the right orientation are willing to commit both the time, the energy, and the capital to develop the businesses which are so absolutely core to the overall economic success of the environment. I think I have 5 minutes, and I think it's up, right? Thank you.